His talk is about doing real projects, which, as far as I know, means raw estimates, agile, and lean. Is that true?
Cool.
Have fun.
Thank you very much. So, 40 minutes, 2 points. So, yeah, it's a big honor to share with you our experiences with our a little bit crazy agency model or agile model, or I don't know how to call. But to be honest, we do some things maybe different than the normal, regular agency is doing. And last year we had also the chance to talk about our ideas, which we called RE.A.L. And very surprisingly for me, it was voted for the best talk of the last con, and that puts a little pressure on me. So I will do my very best. What was not expectable for us was that we reached a greater audience with this topic. For it was just some ideas and we behave a little bit different, but we have a lot of magazines which wrote about and interviews and video blogs and all stuff like that, and it was very, very surprising for us, this stuff. And yeah, we are doing real projects in the real world, no theory, and we skip all the old school business. And this is the former claim of this conference. We had the honor to make the corporate design of the new conference, and you know, now we have a much better claim. But this talk about RE.A.L is not exactly the same talk as last year. Some things you will remember if you've been there last year, but it's about how to realize these ideas. And now we have 1 year more experience with RE.A.L. Who has been to the last talk last year? Oh, okay, just a few. So, I want to start with another event. It's only some weeks ago, and it was a high-end speaker event. That means that I was not invited as a speaker, of course not, but there was a chance to pitch for one place. I mean, there were people like Hawks, the leading future forscher, scientists in Germany, and pretty cool. And okay, that was for me a good reason to pitch about it. So, and then we came into the last 6 who had the stage for 2 minutes to show up with a topic and pitch about the votes of the jury. And I want to show you how I represented the topic RE.A.L in 2 minutes. I came on stage and said, okay, I know I have only 120 seconds. And look what I will do with it. Oh my God, what was this? I only had 120 very, very precious seconds, and I wasted completely 40 of them. 1/3 of this small and very, very precious time. And I wasted not also the time of the audience, and they paid a lot for the tickets. I also wasted their money. And what's the reason why I did this? To show up how you normally behave in projects. This is what you do if you do normal projects with fixed price projects, if you make offers, if you make specifications with a lot of pages, if you make contracts, if you negotiate about it. We are convinced that you're wasting 1/3 of the time and of the money, because you're doing a lot of stuff which do not bring any additional value for the product. So, what is waste? Last year, we told a little bit story. I don't want to tell it again about the Project Island. This is how the normal project is. This is Project Island. Everybody's happy. This is you, the agencies. You like to do projects. I mean, you're not forced to. But there are some things maybe you don't like. For example, the King Clyde. I mean, he makes the rules. He's on the driver's seat. And sometimes his rules are not so funny, and sometimes not so clever. And yeah, there's this estimation cave. Nobody likes it, especially not the developers. And you have in the crystal ball to find out some numbers just to have a dice or stuff like that. And these huge fields of specification, and there's a Supreme Court for the real thick, many pages of contracts. And during the project, the whole game begins again and again. You're fighting against him. Why this is not included? And we have another idea. It must be included. And why is it so expensive, the additional stuff? And so on, and so on, and so on. The last module you will implement at the end of the project, you will specify 6 times different because everybody has a new idea. And at least for the last module, the specification lasts 4 times longer than the doing of this module. Well, this is the normal reality in doing projects, but on the other side, there are many other happy things, so we continue doing projects. But these negative things are only there because you accept them. I mean, the whole stuff about Project Island, as I told last year, fortunately is just a miracle. No, not a miracle. Fairy tale, sorry. The whole thing about thinking about doing projects in another way, in a very uncommon way, is we've been in this situation. Almost 18 years as an agency, a little bit known, 30-something employees, and the demand is getting bigger and bigger, and it's not so easy to find good employees, good developers, and so there's no result for us. It's fighting sometimes, we need some money and some projects, and there was no development. It was frustrating a little bit. I mean, we had the feeling that the result normally must be better with the skills and capabilities and demand on the market which were there. And then we identified what are the things we don't like, we don't need, we don't have to. How should the perfect agency life, the perfect client, the perfect project are? And the thing is, just to complain about the clients and the projects and the problems, and we have to, I know this thing is stupid, but no. Create a vision. How you would like to have your perfect agency organization, your perfect client, your perfect projects, because it's possible. And we created our love thing. And the first thing we found out that was very helpful was we could raise our standard. The things which are not very nice and funny for us, they are only not satisfying because we accept this kind of level of satisfaction. And we decided to do not accept them anymore. One main thing of our idea is not to get the next job, the next client. There are more good clients than good employees. The thing is, does it fit? One of the main things is not, oh, yeah, that's cool, they are big, we can earn money, they are sexy, they are fancy, this is complicated, the developers. No, will it fit? Are you really sure that you are the best agency if you were an external consultant? Are you sure that their needs are on this area where you are the specialist, one of the best in Germany? If not, maybe it's not the right client for you. And this is the reason, because your client sometimes is not so satisfied with you and the other way around. The main thing is to find out first what you really want, and don't be so shy. Have an imagination, a vision how it could be. Don't be shy. Yeah, this could be nice, but no but. Your wish. And then concentrate on what you're really good at. I mean, here is much, much higher than the average of the normal internet agencies because, I mean, okay, here's typo 3, but here on this conference is also a higher level of the average typo 3 agencies. So I think you should raise your level because you deserve more and better projects. Does it fit? We wanted to have a normal life in the agency where we love to go to the agency, where we love the clients and we love the projects, and sometimes they do love us. Sometimes they tell us, and sometimes we found out in other ways. It begins with our estimates, and we found out that estimation do not work, and so we decided to skip them. We decided to skip all the waste. And what is waste? Just some examples. Offers are waste, fixed price project, specifications, detailed everything, contracts. We don't need any contract. We're working totally without contracts. We're doing projects for 300, 400, 500,000 euro. We have never written an offer for this. Never. I know this could not work with your clients because bullshit. Of course, these clients have told us the first time the same bullshit story. But it's your fault if you believe it and play the game with them. So, and a very, very easy rule to identify waste is all the stuff which has to be done in a project which you don't like. It's very easy to build a cool prototype and to find out something innovative. It's cool, yeah, you like it. Do you like write specifications? Do you like write offers? No, nobody does. So skip it. The problem is, okay, the client, he says, no, this is not possible. We can't contract you without all this stuff. We need it. And oh, what a pity. So no estimates really does not work. This is true. But we try to find out what is the smallest possible amount of information of this ways which will work. And in our consideration, it's raw estimation. And raw is very raw. We try to reduce it to the max. And in a few minutes, this short introduction of the main idea of RE.A.L is over, and then I go to the new experiences and the things which we have learned in the last 12 months. We really try to reduce it to 3 things, even to really, really big projects where these specifications of the pitch is thick. They get from us normally 2, 3 pages in PowerPoint. Yeah. And 3 things. First is a price, a raw estimation. 1 price. 1. And it's not the sum of something. That's the price what we expect if you would do the project in the best way we can do, not the best, in the most efficient way. We need 12 months. Because, yeah, we're experienced, most of you are experienced, and we tell them what kind of modules which they will get. And this is just names. Yeah, they get a navigation, and they get a kickoff workshop, and they get these, and they get that, and this is the whole specification. You only get the name of the module. No more detailed specs, not even a price for each module. Because it's of steel. The 2 things, time and money, it's a steel case. Because the client every time says, oh, it's fixed, we don't have more money, we don't have more time, we have to hit the goal. Okay. So if we don't define it detailedly, if all the first modules are getting a little bit bigger, the last one have to be a little bit smaller. And it really works. I'll show you because estimation does not work, but prediction works. The clients, they have fear of that after 90% of the money and time, only the half of the project has been done. Our fear is much bigger. We also have no contract. The clients can be away just like that. And if our raw estimation was very, very poor, and this happens to our 3 biggest clients at the same time, then we are bankrupt. So our fear is much bigger that this does not work. But therefore we have here these modules, and we do just small things, very lean, as lean as possible. Okay, how half ready, ready, half ready, okay. And this is what we're doing right now. It's yellow, and this is ready, and this is not even started. And we have only two numbers, how many modules we have done in this week and how many hours we have invested. And therefore, we get some real cool graphs, and this is the mathematical project in average. And if you're over modules, okay, we're a little bit faster. We're doing more modules than in average expected. We need a little bit more money, but if this is smaller than this, it will be cool because we will be end the project earlier. We do rapid prototyping. We do not do huge amounts of PSDs. Often we have never ever a PSD. We start with a prototype. Sometimes we start to install Typos 3 and build it right in Typos 3. And if there is a change request, if you have a conference call with a client, maybe sometimes during the call, the front-end developer is fixing it. And we're delivering fast, often early, because we want to be safe to fail. Not, okay, we will give you the next result in 4 weeks. And then, oh no, that was a misunderstanding in the wrong direction. Then, okay, what we could do with this time. Because we just write down how many hours we needed, and we send them this as an information with an invoice. The number of hours multiplied with our average hour rate. We reduce it to the max. We will try to be very efficient, very lean, and we are specifying things, yes, but on site. What's the next thing? Then we will specify how we will do it, how we will do it. What we won't do specify things in January, what we will build in December. No, never. And the next thing, okay, this is almost pretty cool, but could we do this little shadow? No. The next thing, when it's already pretty cool, the next one will always be the thing which adds the biggest value to the project. And we always ask the client, this shadow adds the biggest next value to the project? I don't believe so. Maybe in newsletter, maybe the booking engine stuff, it's much more important. But could we just the shadow, the blue a little bit darker? No. There we have a Ponyhof List. And we really call it Ponyhof List, also in face to the client, for the non-German speaker, pony yard. It's an expression where everything is fine and wonderful and perfect. It's like as a child, as a girl on a ponyhof, and everything is fine. Oh, the shadow, yes, so interesting. Okay, we write it on the Ponyhof List because it could be that it's much cooler, but we do not know if we have the time and the money to do it. But what we know is that there are other things which are truly much more important, and first we will do this. And then we can see what we do with the Ponyhof List. And a really, really incredible thing is sometimes when we have a really good real project, and this happens often, I mean, every third or fourth project, we are earlier, and we are cheaper than our estimation. And this is so incredible for the client because this has never happened before. Not even to you. And then they say, oh, cool, we can go online 2 weeks earlier. This is incredible, my chef loves me, my boss. And then we as an agent have sometimes to say, what about your Ponyhof List? At each module, there were so really important things and functionalities and darker blue and shadows. Oh yeah, but if I see it so together in total, no, it fits, it's okay. We don't need it anymore. And if they remember the Ponyhof List and they say, before we go online, we want to see the Ponyhof List because we have 2 more weeks and 15,000 euro left, then they do not even want 25% of all these so important super duper ideas for the features of the Ponyhof List. And that shows him really realistic what he did in the past with this, couldn't we do this that way? Oh, that would be fine. And my boss saw a cool navigation last week. We have the order in the project to focus really on the things that matter. And in this case, you have a problem if you have really good, skilled developers. Because better is not always better. I mean, not only because we can do things better, we have to improve them. Because do we have the time? Do we have the money? Who will pay it? but they're really good developers. They want to show what they can do. And it just takes 1 hour, and it's much better, and I can do it. And they do this all the time and all the time. And we try first to be sure that we'll be in time and in target. And we have a magic trick to convince them to try this very crazy experiment with us. As some first experiences, good experiences, we got very self-consciousness and said, okay, there is no problem to do this magic trick. We say to the client, we just do it. You don't, in smaller things, modules or maintenance stuff or so, we just do it. We write down the number of hours, and if it's okay for you, if this is the value which you really get compared with our invoice, then please pay it. And if not, tell us in a few sentences why not. Maybe we will answer you, but then it's up to you, dear client. Tell us how much you want to pay, and we will correct the invoice. It's cool to see their face if you say the sentence to them, because they can't believe. And the first time, it seemed to me very brave to do this. It was so cool, but after 1 more year experience with this RE.A.L project, I think it's very, very brave to do fixed price projects. I'm not so good anymore. This works, and I will tell you some requirements, what you have to do, but it works much better than you can imagine. And this is a good starter for the clients because they do not have any risk. They say, okay, with this project, well, we can do so, then please start. And show me some things and show me your number of hours, and if I don't like it, I don't have to pay. Was it, yeah? Okay, well, please, then I have no risk, then start. Should be a project where you're very safe that you will fit into the estimation. You can start now. The old school clients, oh, it's not possible with us, and no. But next week I need an offer, and it's very important, and we don't have any time, and please bring a detailed offer because we want to give you the next job. And if it's safe, if you're sure what is to do, and we're sure that it's just wasted time to do this offer, we just build the stuff. Oh, do you have the offer? No. Oh my God, we don't have any time, it's so important for us. Yeah, we don't have an estimation how much we could use. We know the exact time, how much hours we used. 68 hours, here's the results. Have a try, have some fun. If you like it, pay the invoice. And it was a realistic improve of, this is much faster because we can start now. And sometimes, if they are honest and you have a good relationship to them, they say, but last year we had a similar project, and now 68 hours, pretty fast. Last time I paid more than the double. And I said, yeah, this is the waste you're creating. You know that you're creating waste, but you think it's 10 or 20% or 30. No. Often it's 2 or 3 times. It starts with the briefing. We are the experts, not the client. And they Google 2 weeks the briefing, and you need 1 more week to bring them to the real, better expectations. So skip it. And it really works. And this combination of raw estimation, agile behavior, and to keep it as lean as possible is in our abbreviation RE.A.L, and we are really like to work that way. And to have a reality check, what happened after 1 year. Maintenance, we stayed that way. We get a ticket, we get a call, we know what to do, we do it. Please, no word, no mail, no second wasting about, just a small number, how many hours you will need. You will talk to me 10, 15 minutes about half an hour or 1 hour. What doesn't matter, we do it, and if you don't like the amount on the end of the month, then don't pay it. Cool, it's our risk. Stay safe. It's incredible how many time you save. In projects, I mean, we're doing right now between 85 and 95% of our turnover, which is more than 4 million euro, in this kind of stuff. This missing 5 to 15% is in small or mid-sized projects. All the big projects, what we are doing, we do RE.A.L. No bullshit, no old school stuff. Really real. Cool, big tourism companies, big shops in North America, a chain of 60 hotels in 5 different brands and 30 different companies and all these stuff. And also the winner of the last category, e-commerce type of 3 award. It was a good 6-numbered project. Never, ever an offer, no contract. And they would have never been online to the ITB, the most important tourism fair, if they would do this old school stuff. And yeah, that was pretty cool. In new business, this is what I said, really try to imagine what will the perfect agency situation, the perfect client and projects are for you. And don't be shy. As we had the first successes with this system, we were, on the other hand, sure, okay, with some bigger companies, this could not work because they have some rules. They have to give us a SAP number, and there are really reasons why it can't work. We're working for foundations. They can't do it because it's forbidden by law. We just did it. And do not try to convince them theoretically. No. Do this kind of, if you're safe, just build it. And then, wow, that was fast, that was cool, that was cheap. I expected an offer and you gave me the result. That was cool. And if they see with 1, 2, or 3 examples how powerful this kind of agency behavior is, do you think they want to pay the double? And say, I want to do it waterfall, I want to pay the double, I want to have half of the efficiency from my amount of money what I have for the year? No. They really, you have never seen your clients so creative in finding ways in the big companies to do the stuff with you. Really. It was amazing for us to see, it's possible. Yeah, because otherwise it's so expensive. With the foundation, we gave them 2 offers. One for 180,000, a normal offer like they wanted, is all the specs and all this stuff. And one for 120,000, without any waste, with the same result. And they said, we could not do this. And then he said, okay, you forced me to prove this very seriously because you're telling me I get the same results and I save 1/3 of the amount of money. And we did it together with them. We convinced them that it's too dangerous to do it in the normal way. I mean, there comes the people who's talking like that, and then the doing of the project is only done by juniors, and every line of the contract is fulfilled, but nobody will be happy. We have no safeness, no security in fixed price projects. From the client's point of view, if you want to be sure that the agency is under pressure, that they really want to perform, then do it real. I mean, we know that we only will be paid when the client is satisfied. Only as much and as long as he is satisfied, as he has the opinion that we really create the amount of value which is written in our invoice. This is security that we will focus really and stay on a high level. The result, just to make a first short summary for us right now, we're getting more and more the right clients. Of course, like every agency, we have some clients we don't like so much right now. But be sure, not so many as you. And of course, we don't stay as long together with them as you. Because sometimes, not so often, they say, oh no, we don't want to pay it, or we just want to pay the half. And when it's not fair for us, okay, then we're looking for the next better client. Last week I was on holiday, the week before, I canceled a very famous, sexy client. I won't tell the name, but the company's colors are blue and yellow. Maybe some of you flew with them. It was incredible. You don't want to work for us anymore? No. And she tried 45 minutes to convince me to work any longer for them. And we will do this now. We don't need these kind of clients. I'm sorry. And sometimes if in new business companies are interested to work with us, they say, but how do you have the resources to work for us. You're a good agency, you don't have any resources, or? And we say, of course we have resources. Only in one case we do not have resources for you as a wonderful, cool client. If we are convinced that it's cool to work together with you, and you are much better in our expectation than some of the clients we have right now, then we will kick them off. And if you're the owner of a company, there is no better way to make your employees happy than kicking the biggest asshole client off. That really works immediately. There is no contract to be closed. We are fair. We are searching the new agency often for them, because we are delivering deliverables in the normal case, they continue the work with another agency. But inside the agency, we can do. Because looking here's the steering wheel. We are on the driver's seat. What we also change with the small things, what we're doing different is we are on the driver's seat. Hey, the client is doing the rules. No, he's not. If we are able to convince him that we have the power and the possibility, as you're high-skilled, you're experienced, why should he have the control? I mean, you're the expert, that's what he's paying for. And you don't have any fights, you work together with him. And really early, if he recognizes that you want to save the money, you want to find out what's the most efficient thing. We don't want to hit the estimation. We are very happy when our estimation was 200,000 and the project is over for 150. That's the coolest success. In the first months, the employees say, oh, but what about the missing 50? Normally, we could earn this 50 and without doing something. I said, come on, you know the history. With all this waste, you would have 250 or 350 hours on the payroll and only getting 200. I mean, if they're paying each hour, and they're paying 150, okay, that's okay. This is a cool situation financially. And then he can use the other 50 hours for other things, or he's happy to save the money, then you can spend the time for other cool projects. We just want to raise the average number of hours which has been paid. And this has been raised extremely since the 2 years we are doing this real stuff. No more fights with the clients. We get the right projects because we're doing a lot of consulting stuff. The results are not always, but in some very, very clear, faster, cheaper, and better. The secret is for the project managers and also sometimes for the developers, the main goal is to change the behavior and the mindset from the client. If the client is saying, oh, that sounds cool, thinking, I do not have to write the briefing, that's cool. And this is the only thing which is changing, that he is not writing the briefing anymore, then it won't work. It's your task to show him how much faster and better and efficient things could be, and not building the stuff which is inside his briefing. We have a Zeitgeist Manifesto, and the first rule is, tell me what you want, what you really, really want, and you have to ask them 3 times, really, 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 when you know the cool video from the Spice Girls. And we're consulting them. Almost every third or second call where I have some companies, yeah, we want to change the company, the agency, and maybe we have a talk with the site guys, we want to speak with you. And what's your project? A relaunch. Okay, and why? Yeah, because conversion, and why, what's the problem, and tell me, and ask, and very often, my consumption is, but to achieve these goals, you don't have to do a relaunch. I would start to identify in a workshop what are the things, the quick wins, what maybe we can achieve it without the big relaunch. And then they feel, okay, they are not interested in the big amount of the relaunch. They really try to help us. They want to keep it as lean as possible. We are on the driver's seat, and they say, okay, then try, do it, make it. And then you really have to control the client and say, no, I won't make it. Please do not. First, come to an end. You have the control, you're in the driver's seat. And yes, we're doing things different and it works better, and we are proud of what we're doing and how we do it. And I think this is not the normal situation. I say, hey, we are proud how we do it. We are. And this is a huge amount of trust. If we started to do this, all my colleagues, my employees said, oh, don't say this, you don't have to pay it so often. They were afraid of losing their job if they don't pay. But on the other hand, this is truly the biggest trust I can give them. This is really, they know that I appreciate their work and their skills, because I tell them, and if you don't like it, you don't have to pay. We can start, you can see very fast and early. Next week we can start without any written letters, and you can see how Zeitgeist works. And I'm sure that most of you, of the bigger, experienced, and good skilled agency could do the same. It's very successful. I mean, we moved to another office, and last year I said, oh, it's very new, it's cool, and we have plenty of space. And on Monday, we opened the next space, the next almost 400 square meters with 28 working spaces, because it was not so much space. The agency is increasing, and not because we are doing fixed price projects, no. This is much better. We're earning much more money with it. And the funny thing is, it's no problem to communicate it to the clients. In the years before, it was a fight, and only some percentage of revenue, 1%, 2%, 3%, and so on. Now we are achieving more than 10%, more than before. And I can tell the clients, because we saved 30%, 20% for him and 10% for us, it's okay for them. It's pretty cool. And we really get satisfaction. The whole company, even me, it's the most satisfying way to do projects, to know each euro which we are receiving from the client is not because there was a tricky contract and he has to pay it. No, he has to pay nothing to us. He wants to pay it because, in his opinion, we are creating exactly this amount of value to his project. And this is really satisfying. Yes, there are some problems. The problems, for example, are we have these house comparison. We are building a lot of houses which look that way. If a bigger project you compare it with a house, and we are so cool sometimes in some specific areas, and we're building the best entrance doors you've ever seen. And the ground floor is pretty cool. And the first floor, it's okay. When it comes to the end of this project, and as often, finally, sometimes there is no money anymore, no time anymore, and we're building houses without roofs. Because we had so cool ideas, because we are so clever in the entrance door and all these kind of stuff. And then we said, okay, we are able to build the house with a roof in a good quality, but this is too dangerous for us to build a house without a roof, because then maybe the client will kick us off. And our goal is to be sure that we will be in time and in the money target, and we build it 70%. We have the big picture, what he wants. He wants a better conversion, he wants responsible stuff and all these things. That we write it down as in 2 sentences, 3 sentences. And as you can use it, and as soon you're sure that if you would go online right now, it's not perfect, but you could go online right now, and you're sure that the result would be better than the website the client has right now, why don't you do it? Maybe you're not winning the next Type 3 award, but you will be sure if you build everything in 70%, not fancy stuff over here, and when everything is done, then you can consider the whole 70% project. You can go online, you can save the time and the money, or you can say, no, I have the best choice to see where I want to invest the last 30% to make the best efficiency of our project. Reduce it to the max and reduce it first. And that was not so easy with the high-skilled developers, because they want to show all the time what they can do. They're so cool. But in these kind of projects, sometimes a problem. So we created a true north. And it was a little bit interesting for them. Find the true what you really, the true target, the true goal of the client, and make it happen. Not with all the fancy stuff around it, and with the smallest possible effort and the biggest possible enthusiasm. And this here, the smallest possible effort. Whew, that was a little bit floor talking in the agency. We're doing average projects. That's so good. No. We want to be sure that we for sure stay into the amount of money and time. And if you're sure, then without any pressure on the shoulders, we can say, okay, we have 3 weeks more, we have 20,000 euro more. Now where we can do the eye candy stuff, the super duper features, and you can be sure that it won't be a problem because we could go online right now. And we find a good picture of kind of behavior, how you can achieve it. This first small 70% stuff. Just imagine you would do the project for your parents. I hope you won't have the goal to get as much money as you could. No. You won't say, I can do this, and this is cool, and so okay, it costs 50,000 euro more, but they have enough money. No. You will find the right level of, does this cool idea really have a benefit, or it's just a cool thing for the developer? On the other hand, you won't tell them, you just need 1,000 euro and then everything gets better. No, save this 1,000 euro. 1,000 euro, you can do nothing. So this is a cool picture to cope with this. The requirements I already told you. If you do not have any experiences, if you're a new agency, I won't try this because you will have problems with raw estimations. But if you're sure that you're on a better than average level, not on all the specific stuff, no, concentrate on what can you do best and try to identify where these kind of clients are, where you are sure they want to pay our hours and they don't want to save it. No, they will give us the money. There are some clients that say, the only problem with the agency is, can you do it a little bit faster and a little bit more for us? You have to find these kind of clients and they will work in that way together with you. And to come to the end, try to really get a vision how it could be optimally for you. And don't be too shy. And don't start with the why it could not happen. You're so good in telling these terrible stories. Try with the things why and where it could be happen. And do not start with it someday, yeah, cool idea. No, not cool idea. You can do it. It's not magical about it. Use your abilities and do not play this silly old school game with them and forget all these buts. The only thing that avoids you to get the results what you really want to have are your stories about why you could not achieve it. It's really true. It's incredibly simple and it works. Find out what you can, find the right clients, and then you don't need all these bullshit. Start positive, start now, and in our welcome room we start with some of our rules in our manifesto. We don't believe the briefing of the clients. If they want to visit us the first time, while they're waiting, they're reading, we don't believe your briefing. I mean, this is pretty cool, but we'll explain to them that we want to save their money. So this is how we do the stuff, and I would be really happy if you have some questions afterwards, also in the booth or in the evening. I will be here all the 2 days. And I like your questions, also the buts, but I want to motivate you to really, really think about it. Take 30 minutes today, 30 minutes tomorrow, and think positive how you could start with what and not with what not. Because this really can create a much cooler agency future for you. Thank you for your attention.